We got about 5 minutes left. 5 minutes.
Where would you go? What would you do if you were lonely but wanted to make friends? Some go to an event called Skip the Small Talk, where people come together to mingle and make new friends. While scrolling through TikTok, Rachel found Skip the Small Talk. It caught her attention, and she felt this might be just the thing she'd been longing for.
Yeah, well, I moved to New York like 2 months ago, so I've been trying to do a lot of like social clubs and events. Some of them were around like women in their 20s, so around my age, but this one was sort of like open to everybody, so I decided to give it a shot.
With Rachel's family and friends living in Chicago, she tries to find a way to fulfill that need for connection while here. She was scrolling through TikTok and found Skip the Small Talk. It caught her attention and felt this might be just the thing she had been longing for. She chose to give Skip the Small Talk a chance because she felt as if she was missing something.
I miss them so much, and things are just so much better doing things with them. Like when I come home and I cook food and I watch TV shows, that was fine when I was with my family because I enjoy their company. But now that I do it alone in my own apartment, it's like it's not as fun anymore.
With Rachel's loneliness rising, she didn't realize how important going to this event is. According to Our Epidemic of Loneliness by Dr. Vivek H. Murthy, he says, the mortality impact of being socially disconnected is similar to that caused by smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day, and even greater than that associated with obesity and physical inactivity. This means that people who come to these events feel like their efforts are working. They have found success and skip the small talk, so they continue to come back.
Yeah, I think loneliness has an effect cognitively, physically, and emotionally. I mean, if we were to start with the brain, I think if we were to think of like dopamine deficiencies and this idea of, again, like loneliness not being a lack of connections, but a lack of quality connections. So this
According to Skip the Small Talk's Chief Technology Officer, David, from March 2023 to March 2024, 8,236 unique attendees in a year, and 1,722 had gone to at least 2 events in that year, which is roughly a 21% return rate. With alcohol in their system, people began to open up more and let down their walls.
We're just like the moment it felt even slightly safe enough to share something, they were just like the dams would break and people were down to get vulnerable with a stranger. And so
Ashley recognized how impactful these events were and decided to continue holding them. What makes Skip the Small Talk different from other speed friending groups is they use prompt cards. These cards will help strangers open up more and fast forward through the easy topics of getting to know someone.
I mean, just these conversation prompts that really get us thinking about things that we don't usually think about or are not asked unless we are in a therapy session, right? I think structure can be so helpful for those who are experiencing either social anxiety or this real overwhelm at the thought of starting from scratch and fostering new connections with people that they don't know, or even entering a space where they don't know anyone, or entering a space where an unfamiliar space altogether. And so I think being guided in that way and being almost like held figuratively as they move through a process like that.
I had a good time talking to different types of people, even if I don't end up sharing any social media with them or sharing any contact information. Just to be able to talk to another person, it's just nice to do sometimes, just to sort of have a good time.
Within such a big city like New York, it's difficult to not feel isolated. However, people will step out of their comfort zone, hoping to one day find their special group of people. This is Rozier-Williams for NYU Journalism.